This is a cheesecake. I swear down, this is definitely a cheesecake. I will explain why later, but this is definitely a cheesecake. What's up, my dudes? Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you guys have the most excellent day today. So today's video is actually inspired by a video my good buddy Lord Suka made recently, I think yesterday, where he talks about the dangers of AI art and how it's infiltrating the furry fandom as a whole. Now, Lord Suka goes into quite a bit of detail about, AI art in general, the new AI videos being generated by Sora, which I didn't know about until I saw them on his channel, and what this means for the furry fandom as a whole. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is how you can defend against AI art. I always say a good defense is a great offense, and some of the tools I'm going to talk about today are exactly that. And these will hopefully help you protect your art, whether you've drawn it yourself or commissioned an artist to do it for you, against being stolen and referenced by these AI art generators. Because nobody likes seeing their art stolen. When you look at some of this AI art, you can definitely see what it's stolen from. And hopefully these tools I talk about today will help protect your personal art from being used in this way and being referenced by these AI art bots or whatever the hell they are. So the first tool I want to talk about is a bit of an old one, and it protects more against the style being stolen rather than the content. And it is a tool called Glaze. Now I will link down below to Glaze, and Glaze is a tool that makes subtle changes to your art. Things that you might not even notice when looking at it, which will confuse an AI art generator when it's referencing the art into thinking it's a different style to what it is. So say you draw a toony style, Glaze could convince the AI bot that it's not toony style, it's actually a realistic style. So when someone types in that they want a realistic fursuit to be created by AI, it generates a toony image instead of a realistic image, and they get frustrated and they try again, and your art's not used. And like I said, it does it by subtle changes to the actual image that a human might not actually notice. It might be a pixel here or a pixel there, or a little line that just slips in that is completely innocuous and the average human won't notice. I mean, obviously if you look in detail at the image, you're going to see subtle changes that don't quite look right, but as a whole the image will be roughly unchanged. But when an AI bot looks at it, it picks up on all these different changes, these weird pixels here, these lines there, and it decides, oh, this isn't toony style, this is, 19th century Hungarian poetry. And it is definitely more of a passive defense rather than an offensive attack against the AI bots. It just trying to discourages them from using your art in referencing when looking for specific things. Now, Glaze is run off a PC and is apparently quite GPU intensive. However, there is a second product made by the same dudes called Glaze, which can be run from a mobile phone. Apparently it's slightly toned down, doesn't quite go as wild on the images, so it's not quite as effective. And obviously these things aren't completely future-proof. AI will eventually learn to defeat them. But for the time being, it's a good way for artists who art on a tablet or a phone to get a similar quality of defense as the full Glaze system. So my figuring is Glaze is a good way of discouraging your art from being used when referencing stuff. But what if you guys want to go on the offensive? What if you guys want to really dick with these AI bots? Well, now I'm going to go over to another product called Nightshade. And that's where my cheesecake comes in. Now, Nightshade works by convincing the AI that something that is clearly a light bulb is actually a cheesecake. It does it through subtle methods, slight changes the images, and I believe it may work on like meta tags and stuff like that to convince that what the AI sees is not a light bulb, it's a cheesecake. So when the AI looks for cheesecakes, it brings up light bulbs. When it's looking for foxes, it finds ball bearings. But when it's looking for shrapnel varga, it's going to find 16th century Czechoslovakian poets. All that kind of stuff. It kind of mixes and matches what the AI actually finds and substitutes one thing for another. So when someone tries to generate, say, a fox in socks, what it actually generates is a Czechoslovakian poet with a light bulb, or a complete mess of random garbage, mismatched things, items that aren't the right shape. It goes on the offensive that AI cannot generate a cohesive image based on the prompts given. Now this is called AI poisoning, and to deal with it, the AI owners have to go through the database of the AI references and individually pick out each poisoned image and get rid of them. Otherwise, it's just going to keep creeping in. And there's, other than that, there's nothing they can really do about it for now. As always, these kind of things are not future-proof. They say on the Nightshade website that this is not completely future-proof and AI will eventually defeat it. But by the time that happens, it'll probably be like Nightshade 2 or Nightshade 3 that works in even more subtle and offensive ways. And the best part about these products, Glaze, Web Glaze and Nightshade, is that they can be used together. You can glaze a product and then you can nightshade a product. Now nightshade apparently is more noticeable on the image. They have said that it's more perceptible to a human when it's been nightshaded rather than glazed. And I'm assuming when the two are used in comparison there may be more differences to the image, but they'll still be pretty subtle, and the general image as a whole will be what you've drawn or what you've commissioned. But the Nightshade creators have said the two products are completely compatible with each other, which is brilliant news because you get double protection and you get passive and offensive against style and content. Now the third option I want to talk about is kind of a manual defense against AI art. And it's actually the oldest of the three and has been seen quite common on Twitter and other places. And that is purposely posting this image to known websites that are scoured for AI art. And this is something I've seen a lot of people doing, and it is causing hilarious results when you see the AI art generated and the tech bros losing their shit because their precious generations are coming up with absolute garbage and being completely ruined by a couple of people posting this to DeviantArt or something. And obviously AI art is learning to deal with this image, so what you start doing is you start posting variations of this image and you start posting tags like this is a cute fox, and it's still just this image, and AI bots come along and they see this and they think that's a cute fox and they scour it to use in their generations, and some poor tech bro's like, that's not a cute fox. The downside to this is when you are browsing things like DeviantArt, you will see dozens of this image just popping up anyway when you search for something, so it kind of negatively affects regular users as well as AI bots. And as AI gets smarter, it's going to start noticing the variations of the image more and more, and it's going to learn how to filter it out in general. But in the short term, it is a good way just to fuck with tech bros. Now, as yet, I don't know if there's any methods to defend against the new Sora AI video generation, but from what I saw on Lord Sucker's video, it's still in the very early stages. It's still like, maybe 50% useful, and unless you're creating videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti, it's not going to be that great for you. But I'm sure in the near future we will see defenses against AI videos. We just need to keep watching us and see what the eggheads at the universities come up with to defend against that kind of stuff. Will we see AI video films in the future? Probably, unfortunately. But that's just going to be one of those things that we're going to have to deal with when it happens. So like I said, go check out Lord Sucker's video. I have linked down below just to see some examples of all this kind of stuff in use and learn about how AI may affect the furry fandom in the future. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Drop in the comments below, whatever you want. Tell me about your favourite cheesecake, it's all good. If you want to support me and making more of these videos, consider joining my Patreon. You'll see the names of my patrons on the screen now. These most excellent people help me make more videos like this. Or if you want to just kind of hang out, swing by my Discord. I haven't been on there much lately, I've been super busy with work and I apologise for that. But I will attempt to get on there more going forward. Other than that though, I hope you guys have the most excellent day, an amazing week, and party on, dudes!